Good morning, everybody. I'm the supervisor of the home care program that is being implemented in the city of Bogota, Colombia. This program is focused on caretakers and people with disabilities above 18 that require high levels of support. All this in the framework of the care district system. Bogota is one of the main cities in Latin America in establishing the care system for the caretakers. This model aims at achieving gender equality and opportunities, offering a range of services and opportunities in the framework of the care district system that is based on three goals: recognize, redistribute, and reduce the non remunerated care work. And since 2020, we've been implemented 23 care blocks, which are existing infrastructure in each one of the locations where we offer services for caretakers and people with disability. However, there are certain territories that did not have that infrastructure. They were remote areas or rural areas. So we implemented another system, the care buses that offer a more limited range of services, but they provide services for caretakers and the care receivers. And in the year 2023, we implemented the home care program financed by Bloomberg Philanthropies in the framework of Global Mayor's Talent deployed by UNDP. Which is the problem that we want to solve? The basic problem here is the poverty of time of women, which is the structural cause of gender inequality. The burden of non remunerated care is on women, reaching very alarming figures, disproportionate one. Bogota has around 8 million people. 50% of that population are women, and 30% account for female caretakers that are non-remunerated full-time. 90% of them are of low income, 33% have no time for self-care, and 70% have not studied beyond secondary school. That's why, as from the year 2020, in the past administration, they implemented the Bogota care system with different care modalities, the care blocks and the care buses in order to confront these challenges. But in spite of that, the district identified that within that 30%, that 1.2 million caretakers, women, there is a 14% of women who cannot have access to the buses or the blocks because they are spending a lot of time to the care work, and it has to do with the person they take care of, which is a person with disability. That's why we made an additional effort to reach that group of people, those caretakers, with a door-to-door care service. So, which are the goals that we address in terms of sustainable development? Number one, to put an end to poverty in all its forms. Five, achieve gender equality and empower women and girls. And three, and 10, reduce inequality between and within countries. The solution, so, is to implement home care program that tries to survey and relieve the caretakers of the overburden of care, while a professional is taking care of the person with disability. This caregiver can do another activity. We reach every one of the homes with four services: home care service that aims at the reduction because a person comes to take care of the person with disability, so the caretaker will have a lower burden of care. Second, certification of knowledge. This is the recognition of the empirical knowledge of the caretaker with an agreement of the Secretariat of Women, certifying that uh, allows them in the medium and long term to do what they have always done, but paid with a remuneration. A legal support service that aims at reduction because the access barriers for this population are very high. So we want to accompany them so that they can have appointments, have access to services, undergo a surgery, different services that have always been difficult for them to have access to. So this aims at reduction. And the cultural transformation service that is done within the home for the recognition of the importance of the care work and the contribution of that care work in the home economy. That contributes to redistribution so that there is a more fair redistribution of care work within the home. Here we can see how we have structured the implementation of the program. Bogota is very large. Um, we have implemented the system in cycles one and two, have been implemented in two big territories. We have finished. We are about to start the third and fourth cycle to conclude in December this year. So, which is the innovation here in this program? The innovation is to reach with highly qualified services to the home in order to work with the people with disabilities in order for them to be more independent and autonomous. So there is a reduction of the care time. But in parallel, the idea is to work in empowering the female caretakers to reconnect with their dreams, their life projects that have been delayed for a long time. The number one challenge of this program is to implement specialized actions that shall reach and in a comprehensive way to solve the problems of the family. So we have to analyze the situation first in order to arrive in an assertive way to meet the needs of the family. So we are going to skip that. Next one. What's the impact based on the three pillars of the care system? Regarding recognition, 81% of the female caretakers expressed that the recognition of their care work increased. 72% considered that it contributed to the improvement of their self care. Now they are more concerned about themselves, their health, their look, in spending more time on themselves. And also the certification, that is, having that certificate that allows them to work in the future, well, positions them in a different way. And there is a high recognition that is, what I do is worthwhile, so much so that an entity certifies me. Regarding redistribution, 48% of the people with disability increase their levels of independency and autonomy. This was identified as from the implementation of the Hodas and Barthel scale. The primary redistribution was done between the caretaker and the person with disability because there is more responsibility by the person that needs care. Regarding the reduction of the overburden, 50% of the caretakers reduce the level of overburden of unpaid work. This as from the implementation of the Sarit scale. Let's skip this one. We are going to skip this one because we are short of time. What are the challenges and solutions? A fundamental challenge was to address a scattered population located in 19 locations. For that, we implemented the system in a staged way and in cycles. Um, Bogota receives population from different cities from the country that come with their cultures, their specific characteristics. So we analyzed the reality, the situations in order to meet those needs, reach the caretakers of the 14%. We really focused and we defined entry criteria and priorities so that the population could have access to the program and also to provide simultaneous services. There was an exercise of articulation in order to avoid the saturation of the family with so many services received by the home. And something very important, to count with permanent information during the implementation and be able to present results. We designed and implemented a monitoring and follow-up system, a sound one that allows us to have information in real time almost. How is it that you generate partnerships? This is important. The participation in the district and local articulation tables, in the participation spaces. Here we see the intervention of the entities that are part of the district, the different sectors, the civil society. So to do follow-up of the implementation of the system, proposing new initiatives, see how this can work better, the communication of the program, the presentation of results, to promote the participation of academia and the private sector. This is fundamental. There is a challenge now that the private sector shall be able to provide employability, um, that is also important and necessary for this population that are part of our system. And also to come with the support to communicate the results and the experiences, the lessons learned. Which are the upcoming steps? We have three steps in the short and medium term to implement the two remaining cycles. To finish by late 2024, we are working on the design and the implementation of a pilot precisely because this service to go door to door is very costly. We want to have an intermediate system where we implement a quality program for caretakers and people with disability in the blog and to communicate the results of the experiences learned, the lessons learned, the results of the cycles. We are doing an impact assessment also to provide those results to the cities, the entities, in order to work in a more articulated fashion and to see the virtues of this program. And the challenges that we have ahead. Three, to move forward in the interinstitutional articulation, to coordinate actions for the care for the person of disability and also the caretaker. We expect for this administration, the next administration, we are in a transition. The administration started this year. The Secretariat of Women will be the guide to cross-cut the differential and gender approach so that all the services contribute to the empowerment and work with the caretakers to strengthen intersectorial coordination. It is done, but it is important to keep on working in this direction in order to offer comprehensive solutions for the caretakers and the people that need care. And something that is very important to propose that this initiative shall be included in the public agenda so that it does not depend on the political will, and in this way we can continue and guarantee the sustainability. Thank you very much.